Hails, YouTube averse. Marty's back this time with a quick little VCLT update. Last couple months, I've had a few things sent to me from friends. Cash was a little tight, and they picked up some stuff for me around here or there, or had something extra laying around, which I greatly appreciate it. Getting new music in the mail is always fun. And these first two CDs are from Ben, better known as Brain Smasher. He sent me two CDs, and this first one is very cool. It is by Epitaph from Sweden, Stockholm, I believe. And this is Seeming a Salvation. This is a drop CD, crack case. That's what this is. That's how I roll. Dark Symphonies, The Crypt reissue of this 1992 full-length, I should say classic, but Epitaph is one of those bands to me that until I got this CD in the mail from Ben, I'd never heard of or heard. So it was kind of fun to pop this bitch in. And what I was hit with was very much a product of its time. The Stockholm sound is very much in track here. Very dry production, almost kind of a clunky production. Vocals are very much out front. The drums and the guitars, the guitars are distorted, but the way they're recorded, it's such a clean sound. It kind of lacks a fullness or power. And like I said, it's very much a product of its era in time. It's I guess I can see why it was overlooked. Didn't have the bigger recording budget of their country mates, but this is a good album. It's a full-length album. I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff on the insert. I have not looked at the insert. I've listened to this like twice. But yeah, very good album. And, Ted over at Dark Symphonies is doing the world a favor by bringing to light these cool gems and making them widely available again. Like I said, this band totally went under my radar. But definitely check out Epitaph if you're into the Swedish sound. Good stuff. The next band is from 4 members in this band from Estonia and Canada and Finland. I don't know if this is like a project type of band or the band has just moved around a lot, but this is Pohjast with Matused. I don't know, it's dark in here, I can't hear. Allow myself to illuminate. Matused. Very cool cover. Is that a Chris Verwimp cover? It sure looks like it to me. This album was instantly right in the pocket for me, right on the sweet spot where all my Viking era Bathory appreciation goes. These guys are kind of in that pocket, and the weird thing, this is a weird band. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it sounds just like Bathory, because it does not, because there is also a bit of a Reverend Bizarre twist. The Doom band from Finland, Reverend Bizarre. There's a little bit of that influence in there, and that's more so vocally. I think musically, and guitar with a little nastier guitar tone is more Bathory Viking era, and lyrically, it's very much Reverend Bizarre. The vocals are very much Reverend Bizarre, and some of the arrangements of the music could also be Reverend Bizarre. I was listening to this in the shop while I was working, and the lyrics are pretty much discernible, and I'm just like, what the hell did he just say? It just seemed really bizarre. So before I did this, I sat down with the lyric sheet. I'm just going to read you this. This might be incredibly boring, but I find the lyrics to be very awkward, weird. This is for this track, November. I brought stuff to read, and you always asked whether our friends I had seen. Then we made plans for a night on the town where together we had not yet been. The world seemed to shrink, contracting each day. You spoke of things rather mundane, of radio dramas you'd happen to hear, or the weather, things simple and plain. And sometimes you laughed. You laughed as you cursed the blandness of hospital food. At other times, I barely heard you at all. I just looked at the ceiling, not you. And sometimes you'd quietly ask if I would be so kind as to dim down the lights. Few were the times I could tell you for sure when next I would be dropping by. Near the end, I came rarely a couple of times. You just looked at me, silent and pale. You never did ask why my distance I'd kept. Then again, you never complained. You looked out the window one morning when skies were all full of torrential rain, and then you gave up all reliance on hope. You succumbed to the terminal pain. You know, reading it now, it doesn't seem as bad, but hearing it in context of the music, it's just like, what the fuck did he just say? And just, you could tell that English may not be the key ingredient to this equation. But, yeah, Pohjast, very good album. And it's different. I think this initially came out in 2014. Which seems like an eternity ago, I guess, considering everything that's going on. But very cool. It's on Warheart Records. I don't know how hard it was for Ben to track this down, but it's fun. It's an enjoyable album, and I've listened to it quite a bit, actually. Keep grabbing for it. It's good stuff. And next up, I've got a very sweet care package as well from Patrick from Ground Zero Salem. A lot of these bands I know absolutely nothing about other than listening to them each once, maybe 3 times at the most. I guess I'll start with this one. This first one is a hardcore band. I don't know where they're from, but this came out on Acme Records. This is the band Out Cold with Will Attack If Provoked. This band is very much a hardcore band, which I very much enjoy. Hardcore and punk and other styles other than metal, as most of you will know from watching this channel. This band, what made this thing very much enjoyable to me was, well, the songs are well written. There's, you know, a lot of ferocity in them. But the way I don't know if it's the music or a combination of the music and the way the guy sings, but it reminds me of the Crumbsuckers. Life of Dreams and Beast on My Back. Though those albums were a little more metal charged, this album could be like a younger brother type band to the Crumbsuckers. Very cool. Enjoyed it. Don't know much about the band's history. I should have maybe researched that shit a little bit, but I did not. Next up is Seventh Circle with Cycle of Violence. This one I've listened to once. It was fun. It's just really super sludged out, heavy, dark, evil sounding, nasty death metal with maybe a very, very slight black metal touch, aggression to the vocals. I'm not saying it's just like Danny Filth style black metal vocals. I'm saying it's predominantly death metal. It's just really dirty and polluted sounding, but sloppy and down-tuned and dark. You could tell they're trying to dwell on the Satan thing a little bit and trying to put that darkness through their music. It's good. This is just an EP, 3 songs: Death Mask, Dwelling, Lucifer, and Babylon. I enjoyed it. Probably won't listen to it a ton, but when I do grab it, it's going to definitely scratch that itch of deep down and nasty modern day evil death metal. Next up, this was very weird. I've listened to this probably 3 times and I just can't wrap my brain around if I like it or not, but this is Disciples of Power with Mechanikill. Where are these guys from? These guys are from... This came out in 96. Right in the heyday of death metal. Well, I shouldn't say the heyday. It was kind of when black metal was kind of taking over at this point. This came out... These guys are from Canada. This is on Poison Records, and someone's sister, 13-year-old sister, did the cover for them, which, you know, that's cool. Colored pencils. You know, it worked for Sentenced back in the day, but Disciples of Power, man, that logo, oof. Anyway, this is on Poison Records, and the heart of this album and the style and the playing, everything about it sounds US, like a US death metal band. At times it's very techy. A lot of times they kind of center on this mid-range tempo. They get in this pocket. Bass is very pronounced. Production is everything is clear. You can hear everything crisp, but you can hear everything clearly, but there's like a murkiness, a mud. Like they did not go to a very high-end studio to record this, which, that's fine. You get the point across. This album is almost an hour long, which is to its detriment, to be honest. I think if this was maybe a 40-minute long album, it would have definitely been a little more staying power, but the style that they're playing, the middle range death metal vocals, it seems like death metal infused with some proggy thrash thrown in, and believe it or not, it gets kind of samey towards the end. I mean, it's an hour long, but the core of it is really good, and I'm definitely gonna have to sit with this some more to figure out where I sit with it. Like I said, one day I listened to it, I'm like, I don't know if I like this. The next day I'm like, oh, okay. Moods change. My moods are definitely playing a big factor in some of this stuff, but I got something different from it every time, which always is the sign of a album with potential. He also sent a couple tapes, which I think these are, well, this one's on Head Split. This is Ectoplasma with White-Eyed Trance. Both of these tapes are quite good. And both of these tapes this is a blue tape. Both of these tapes are really good. Well produced, crusty, nasty, down-tuned death metal. Very cool professional layout and production. I don't know if this is a full-length album. I don't want to say this is a demo. This is an actual full-length release. I should have looked it up and got a little more information on Ectoplasma. But good crusty death metal. And this is the same. This is on Caligari Records. Perinei? See if I can get a good angle on this. There we go. I think out of the two, this one was maybe not as potent, but still, that's comparing, apples to oranges, because both are good. This is a really good demo from a band that's reliant on the crusty death metal style, and definitely should check this stuff out. Like I said, I have not done hardly any research on this stuff, other than I've listened to it and enjoyed it. And I just want to thank both Ben and Pat for their kindness and generosity, and I'm sure I'll be sending something your way soon, brothers, and I hope you guys found this video to be somewhat informative, and hope you're all doing good. Take care of yourselves. See ya.